I'm going to go over a few tickers on the 5-minute time frame and give you some price targets for Wednesday. First up is AMD. We ended the day at $155.61, up 6.41%. The semiconductor space did run today, so that was nice to see. So this is where we are to the north side. One level of resistance and a potential take profit area, a sell limit order as well, takes us to 159.81. Above that, 162.61. And should we be so lucky as to get to 4 standard deviations, that would be roughly 165.16. This is resistance, resistance, and another level of resistance. And to the south side, one level of support takes us to roughly 154.63. Below that, at another level of support and another potential buy-in area and another potential stop loss area, 149.53, 146.87, and don't hold your breath for price to get to this level at 144.22. This is an area of a possible dip buy, a pullback here, here, and here. These are your buy signals. We have a gap that will take us to roughly 146.46. Oops. You have to get right past this candle here for this to line up, and I like to put my gaps to the south side in red. Closes out at 146.36. It starts at roughly 153.46 to the downside. We gapped up right here Tuesday morning, and this is your clear area of resistance and a potential take profit area, and it got slammed down. So if you're day trading, this is your clue to get out if that's what you're trying to do. And I'm giving you price action for the next day on the 5, so this is definitely for taking profit. This is not for investing. You would want to do that on a different time frame. And then we have another gap to the south side that will take us to 138.41. This closes out at 138.41 but begins at 142.80. Ignore all of these other lines. Those are areas we've been to, the yellow lines in 2024. The green lines I did trade previously. I do own this ticker, and I bought in at 73.88 and 76.45, and I still own those lots. All right, looking left here, I have not looked at this ticker for a very long time. We have a gap to the upside, and that closed on Thursday the 10th. I was out of town, so we gapped down, so then we fill it on the way up, and it did. It took us to roughly 141.83. That white line is a previous analyst line where they predict the 1-year price target. And speaking of, what is the 1-year price target now? Like I said, I used to track this one a lot, and it's been a long time since I went back to it. So 140.07 to the downside. What are we at? 155. So they're saying there's some pullback to watch out for, but to the upside, $200. The 1-year, the 52-week high is 174, and then we hit today's high of 158. Now we have this gap also to deal with to the downside, but as you can see, we're still in an upward channel. And this puppy closed right there. So congrats if you played that to the downside. And that took us to 126.90. And then we have other pullbacks. Oh, this one already closed at 116, and that touched on Friday the 13th. Congrats. That is going to be deleted now. No longer a threat to our account to the south side. So congrats if you bought in at 116 there. But we do have an open wound to the south side that will take us to 116.32. That is a pullback area. here. All right, I am done. See, that's your resistance, resistance to your sell. This is support on the way down, fell through some more, and then bounced off this 52-week, well, not the 52, the 1-year price target. That's a rolling target. I don't know when it starts and when it begins, but if it touches, then you can kind of see that with this turning red. That's saying to the south side, so they're anticipating a pullback. All right. Let's go to the next one, and congrats if you were in SMCI, up 6.92%, NVIDIA 4%, TSM up 3.62%. I do own AMD, Baidu, TSM, SOXL, and that's it. Okay, the next one I want to go over is Zeta. Trader Murat talked about this a while ago, and I forgot to do it. I got slammed, was busy with my rental, and I forgot to circle back, and that's what I'm going to do. So on the first, he told me to check this ticker out if I like to gamble and risk, and trust me, I do have some risky trades I have been in, but let's go over this. So when he talked about price here on the 5, so from up here to down here is support. And then we fell through some more, bounced up, and then, wait a minute, red, okay. So we are grinding along this line and then bounced up. When we go up, this turns into resistance. We busted through, went down, basically going sideways, and this turns into resistance on the way up as well. Fell back down, this is support, that's a buy-in, that's resistance, broke through, and then we're just grinding along this line up to resistance again. A sell-off at another level of resistance. We didn't quite get there, but we sure hit it here and here and here and here. Falling on the way down, that is support, and a buy-in at support here. This is a clear sell-off. So there are many opportunities, as he said, basically, if you like to gamble. If a lot of people are trading it, you can get in, get up, get out, get in, get up, get out. There you go. The process repeats itself. But keep in mind, we are in a downward channel on the 5. And I have never looked at this ticker before. He mentioned this, a technology services packaged software company. Let's clean this up. So we gapped up. So we have a landmine to watch out for, a pullback area, and that would be right here. That opened up on the 18th of June. So this will take us down to roughly, 1262. It started at 1398. This acts as support on the way down as well and bounced off of that. And here's your other support line as a potential buy-in area. It depends on what your risk tolerance is, where you like to buy. But generally, you buy down here somewhere, and then you sell off up here if you're playing it safe, conservatively. Let's take a look at this on the daily, and then I'm going to move on. Okay, where are we? So on the daily, we're basically grinding along here, and we are still going down. This is still going down, so there's more bleeding to do, but that's a potential pullback where you might be able to get in for a better price if it's something you're trying to do. But to the north side, that's 1519, and above that 2527, and to the south side 504. I don't know if we're going to get that low. We'll see. Okay, that was AMD, Zeta, and what else did I want to do? Oh, BABA. Let me do BABA. Thank you, Murat, for pointing that out. I like looking at tickers that I've never peeked at before. This is BABA. We've been whipped around like a crazy. Ignore all that. This used to be on my Gap and Go trades on Sunday that I used to do, or not used to do. It was on there because what I was tracking closed out. Yes, this looks like a hot mess, but I know. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. I'll have to move some things around on a different time frame. But because I'm on the daily, the RSI is turning up, so that's good. The 5-minute, excuse me, the daily is also in an upward channel. We're at 116.97. I put that in the wrong color. That should be here. All right, to the north side, that will take us to 127.27. That is resistance. So watch out for that. And to the south side at support, $100.73. And then there's this gap right here to 104.30. Do I need to clean up any? Oh my, oops. We have many, oops, gosh darn it. Many gaps to the south side, it looks like, for a pullback. So I own this ticker, I think, or did I sell out of it? No. Okay, I think I own this at 89.73. The pink lines are, the dark pink are my buy-in lines. And I stopped tracking this thing. All right, so this closed to the downside. This is on the daily. I should be doing this on the 5. That took us down to 84.52. And then we have other gaps here. What's going on here? Wow, could we retrace to these levels again? I think so. 73.52. Wow. And then down here, 65.29. Not looking good. But right now, in an upward channel, thank goodness, because this was killing us for the longest time. All right, so price targets. Oh shoot, you have to grab it in a specific area or it just gets wonky. That pink line, I did sell some at 98.90 once. No, wait, I bought in and sold out at 98.90 and probably cashed in at 101. Whoopie-doo. Okay. Well, you know what? If you take your 2 to 6% gains every single day, I will take that over trying to run something up to 30% and then it crashes on you. Or you miss the movement. If you're just trying to eke out some wins every single day, you can win 2 to 3% all day long and beat the bank. All right, you've got a gap here to the south side. Let me mark that and I'll give you some targets. $119.20, $121.04, and $123.07 to the south side. Support, $115.41. This gap starts at 114.15-ish. This acted as support, bounce off that basically. Okay, to the south side, that white line is an old analyst price target that we've hit. 110.27, 109.53, and 107.54. Then we have this baby gap. Okay, that will take us to 104.30. And this gap, I mean, I look at this for myself, but I haven't done a video on this in a long time. 107.92. This one is done. That touched right there on Tuesday. That took us to 110.55. This gap to the south side closed at 106.39. So you can play these gaps all day long. This one closed. That one closed. When was the last time I looked at this ticker? Let me go to the daily to see this in the big picture. Option R. Oh my goodness. I think, well, maybe the last time I did a video could have been right here on February 11th with this price label. That might very well have been the last one. So if that's the case, what happened? Well, we were at 111. We ran up all the way to resistance, sold off, back down, grinding along here, made it all the way up to 148. My goodness. And then got slammed down. Look at this huge gap. We gapped down, so that means it'll fill up, and it did, to 125 right here. My goodness, it ran up some more, and now we ran a little bit, but that's the big picture on BABA. Now, I should quit. I really do need to do Pltr. I'm going to show you something really quick. I did a trade. I bought some, and then, of course, it crashed, and then I was able to claw my way back to sell some. So I bought some down here at 140.93, and then I could have sold, let's see, it ran the day I sold off, which was here, 146. So here, I bought, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just got a text from one of my tenants. I bought here, so look at that, and it crashed.